In this video, we will be examining some tips and techniques for searching for journal articles using keywords. The database that we will be using is Academic Search Complete. This is one of our preferred databases for doing journal articles. We're currently sitting at the Library Journal Database webpage. If you need help getting to this page, see our other video, a tour of the library journal databases, and that will give you instructions on how to get to this page. Okay, we're going to start right in, Academic Search Complete. Now, first off, do not just type in here a search like you would on Google. This is not Google. That won't work. We are doing keyword searching, and what we mean by a keyword search is we're going to put in words that we think that papers that we are interested in would have a high likelihood of containing those words, high probability of containing those words. You need to sort of think about, I'm looking for papers on a particular topic. What sort of words are those papers going to have in them? And you want to use those words. If you're having a little bit of trouble maybe figuring out what sort of words you should use, you could try doing a Google search, see what comes up, and see what sort of words keep coming up a lot, and those could be good starting points. For this example, I'm going to do a search looking for papers talking about carbohydrates in cat food. So I'm just going to start right out here, and I'm going to say cats. I'm going to hit search. And here we go. So we have 90,000 articles in this database that had the word cats somewhere in that paper someplace. Now, one thing you need to watch out for is that different authors in different papers might use different words to mean the same concept. So think about it. What's another word for cats that you might see in a scientific paper, for example? Well, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to type in the word or, and I'm going to type in feline. Okay, that's a scientific classification for cats. Another one would be a felid. And you notice I'm putting ors in between these words. That's telling the database that, as far as I'm concerned, any of these words are talking about the same concept. Okay, that's important. I'm trying to pick up different papers by different authors who use different words. Okay, so right now we have 90,000. I'm going to hit search. Okay, just to yourself, ask yourself, do you think this count is going to go up or down? Got it? Here we go. Now we have 93,000 articles. So it went up. Why did it go up? Well, because now not only are we including articles that have the word cats, plus articles that have feline, plus articles that have felid. So now we have 93,331 articles. So it went up. So whenever you're dealing with a single concept that might have different words used for them, put ors like this. Okay, the next part of my search is, so now I've got cat articles here. Oh, there's another name for a cat right there, Felis catus. I'll leave that up for right now. I was talking about food. So let's put in here food. Okay, now 93,000 articles, and I stuck this in the second line because I'm starting a new concept. What's going to happen, how you can think about what's going to happen, is the database is going to first search for all the articles that have those words in it, and then in that resulting set of articles, it will then do another search just within that set, looking for papers talking about food. Okay, 93,000. Do you think this is going to go up, or you think it's going to go down? Here we go. We're going to hit search. And it went down because what happened? Well, we found all the articles talking about cats, and that was 93,000. And now we've restricted it, saying, okay, of those articles about cats, now only show me the ones that are talking about food. Now, we can do the same thing here that we did on this line, because there's other words besides food. They might have been saying, well, maybe it was talking about cat diet or nutrition. Okay. Again, same concept, different words being used for the same concept. 8,382. Do you think this number is going to go up or down? It went up. Why did it go up? Because now we're allowing more words to be used. So now we're looking for not only, cats food, but also cats diet and cats nutrition. And so all those together, the total went up. Okay. And finally, I said I was interested in carbohydrates. So I'm just going to put in carbohydrates. Here's a little tip. If you put a asterisk at the end of that, that will match any word that starts with carbohydrate. So that will match both carbohydrate and carbohydrates, both. And I've put that on a new line because it's a new concept. So we're going to first find all the papers talking about cats. Within that group of papers, we're going to look for things talking about nutrition. And then the result of that, we're going to look for things talking about carbohydrates. Okay, 11,300, do you think it's going to go up or down? Put your vote in right now. It went down and went down a lot. Why? Well, we started with all the articles talking about cats. We restricted that to only articles talking about food or diet or nutrition. And then in that, we restricted it even farther by only talking about carbohydrates. So at this point, we've got 278 articles. Usually at the reference desk, when we get it down to about this point, we're actually kind of happy and we can start looking at the actual articles. We're going to do a couple more things first. If you come over here to the left side of the screen, you scroll down a little bit, it's called limits. And one of the limits is called full text. If you check this, it will only show you articles for which the database actually has the text of the journal article, okay? We have some journal articles in here where we don't have the text, and I can see this one right here where it says link to full text. This is telling me that this database knows about this article, but it doesn't actually have the article itself. This one, it actually has the article because there's the full text. If I click on full text here, it will restrict it to only articles that actually have the full text. And we notice we went from 283 to 68. So only 68 of those articles were actually full text. So now we're looking at the full text articles, and we can do one additional thing. There's a button here called Scholarly Peer-Reviewed Journals. If your teacher says that they will only allow papers from scholarly or peer-reviewed sources, all you need to do is check this box. The database knows which journals are scholarly and which ones are peer-reviewed. And now it will restrict the results to only those papers coming from scholarly or peer-reviewed journals. And now we're down to 60, so we lost a few more. One additional thing that you might want to do, depending on what your teacher tells you, it says right now all our articles are falling between 1997 and 2020. Maybe your teacher said things only in the last 10 years. We can just take this, slide this up to 2010. And when I let go of this, it should say updating. So now to 53. If you change that date slider and it doesn't say updating, it means you probably moved the mouse off before it was really set. So go jiggle the little control again, make sure it says updating. Okay, so now we have 53 articles. We're gonna start looking at these. Addition of plant dietary fiber to a raw red meat, high protein, high fat diet alters the fecal bacteriome and organic acid profiles of the domestic cat, Felis catus. Maybe that's exactly what you're looking for. If that's the case, go ahead and click on the title. And it's going to give you a bunch of information here about this particular article. So here's all the authors. This is what journal it came from. This is important. It came from a journal called PLOS One. This was in May 1st of 2019. There's subject terms. These are like hashtags for an article. This was hashtag cats, hashtag organic acids, things that are important about this particular article. Scroll down here, the abstract. This is important. It's a little short 1 or 2 paragraph summary of the entire article. So you can just tell right now by reading this whether it's worth your time to even look at the rest of this article. Sometimes you read the abstract and you go, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. Let's assume that this actually was what I'm looking for. If you're sitting on your own computer or you're sitting on your own laptop, you could come down here and you could click on PDF full text. That will actually pull up the article. And there it is. And it looks exactly like it would in the journal with all the graphics and everything else. And you could read this. If you wanted to save it to your computer, you could hit download PDF and that would work. I'm going to go back to the detailed record. That's the record that we were just looking at with all this information. So that's how you can download the article to your computer. Another thing that you might be interested in is over here on the right, and it's called Cite. And it will tell you the citing format for different formatting styles. So you might want APA. So here is the reference in APA format for this article. And you could copy this and paste that into your paper and you'd be good. If you're doing MLA, that's down here a little bit farther. Here's MLA. So just copy this and copy that into your paper and you're good. As always, when you're dealing with a citation from a computer, make sure you double check it to make sure it's actually correct and that there isn't some error in it. A final thing that you could do is you could email yourself the article if you wanted to. But I think that's it for this particular article. I'm going to go hit result list. That will take me back to where I was. And I can look for additional journal articles that might be useful to me. So metabolic response to 3 different diets in lean cats and cats predisposed to overweight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the basic idea. You're trying to think of words that the paper would contain. If there's multiple words that could mean the same thing in terms of what you're looking for, put ors between those words, cats or feline or felid. You could put phrases here too, or what was it? Felis catus. That would also work. It didn't change the results. So, and then each box represents a new concept, and each box is going to refine, which is in the previous one. So this finds all the cats. This narrows down all the cat articles by nutrition or diet. And then this one narrows the result of this even further by carbohydrates. If you find you need more boxes, you can hit this and you could add another line. Okay, so that's the basic thing. If you are having trouble, please, please, please email us at library@lasierre.edu. Tell us what you're looking for and what database you've been looking in, and we will try to help you find articles that will help you with writing your paper. And good luck.